This is John Pastore. I'm with the Solutions Alliance. And today on our podcast, we're happy to have Bob Anteville with us. Now, the Solutions Alliance shows businesses and individuals innovative and unique ways to save money, some you never expected you could get. And Bob is with the National Auditing Service Consulting. Bob, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and the auditing service?
Hi, John. Thank you for having me this afternoon. The National Auditing Services Consulting. We specialize in reviewing and performing forensic audits on the utility bills of businesses on a contingency basis.
On utility bills, is it necessary to audit utility bills?
John, absolutely. In fact, our very own House of Representatives, the Ways and Means Committee, they clearly state that in a single year, utility customers have been overcharged by billions and billions of dollars. In fact, tens of billions of dollars.
Tens of billions of dollars. Is this something new? It sounds quite unique.
Well, and National Auditing Services has providing these audits to businesses for more than 3 decades. It's not new. John, these costs are one of the top business expenses that have been taken for granted by businesses.
They've taken them for granted?
Yeah. In most cases, as an example, an electric bill, it can come in, let's say, for the month of January, for let's say $5,000 or maybe $50,000. So how does one handle that? Simple, John. They pay the bill. But in the summer months, as an example, let's take it a step further. The electric bill can come in significantly higher, by 20, 30% or even higher. So what does one accounting and bookkeeping department do? To pay the bill, of course, right? But how do they know? How do they really know how that, other than the weather, what's affected and what's the difference in their bill? John, they don't.
I'm sorry, Bob. Why can't they review these charges themselves?
Well, they could. However, there are several reasons not to. First, our firm, National Auditing Services Consulting, we go back and then do the audit for 36 months. Some cases, we're going to go back for 5 years. We're going to verify bearing errors that are associated with every single line item, from incorrect tariff rates to surcharges, every single line item. Now, these fees, they're not all visible to one's accounting department. No.
Well, why can't a business have their accounting department employees be trained to do this?
A lot of people actually think that they can be trained to do this. But what's going to happen is it's going to take an awful lot of time for them to educate an employee to do this. It's going to take away from their normal everyday job functions. And of course, having said that, it's going to become very costly. NASC, National Auditing Services Consulting, these performance, these audits have been performed using our proprietary software. We've been doing this for 30 years. It's our long-term relationships with these utilities nationwide that make us the difference.
You do this nationwide?
Yeah, we serve all the United States. We serve Canada, Puerto Rico, and whether your firm is in Miami, Fort Worth, California, New Hampshire, no matter where it is, no matter how big your business is, and no matter how many locations you have, National Auditing is here for you.
So if I was a businessman, I'd be asking, how big a bill do I have to qualify for the audit?
Well, the bigger the bill, the more money they're probably going to save. But everybody qualifies, and we do start with a minimum bill of about $3,000 a month. Now, that can be a cumulative bill, $1,000 for your gas, $1,500, natural gas, diesel fuel, figure $1,500 for water and sewer. So it can all add up to $3,000.
Now, you mentioned that NASC has been performing these audits for more than 30 years and doing so for free.
Well, obviously, if we were doing them all for free, we'd be out of business. But we do perform the audits for free on a contingency basis, John. And we've been successfully doing this, recouping literally millions and millions of dollars for thousands of businesses nationwide.
Bob, NASC has not been recovering these overpayments without getting paid. How does NASC get paid?
Of course, we get paid, and what we do is once we uncover what they've been overcharged and then recover the overpayments, the amount that has been overcharged is paid back to the business. It's done so directly from that utility company. NASC will then share in that recovery. Keep in mind, if we do not recover anything, if we're not successful in recovering any payments that have been made in the past, the firm will owe us nothing. 3 decades of recuperating overpayments is what has made us today who we are. There are a few things, John, that I'd like you to know. First off, 8 out of 10 customers that we work with, we're able to uncover overcharges. We specialize specifically in utility auditing, only focusing on electricity, gas, water, sewers, diesel fuel, and taxes. On an occasion, for a larger organization, we'll do a telephone bill. The company, NASC, is a family-owned business. As I said a couple of times, I think already, we've got 30 years in this industry. Personally, I've been doing it for a couple of years now, and I enjoy it tremendously. But more importantly, we do maintain an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, unlike any other of our competitors.
As I listen to this, if I were a business with a $3,000 or more monthly bill, it would be foolish if I didn't have it audited. Is there a catch? Is there a downside to this?
Not that I can think of. Perhaps the biggest downside, if I get into the deep corners of my brain, is not doing it and having the business, John, walk away from the opportunity to save money. Risk, there's no risk involved. The only risk that you could possibly imagine is the risk a business is going to take knowing that their very own business may have been overcharged. I mean, simple as that.
Bob, NASC sounds like a no-brainer, no downside. NASC will do all the work and your clients reap the benefit. How involved does the business get when requesting the audit?
Well, the only effort that's really made by the business is quite minimal. It'll take less than 30 minutes to prepare the necessary documents. All we need to do to move forward is a copy of the most recent utility bill. Along with that, we have a one-page agreement, very simple, not complicated whatsoever.
And so I do this. How long would it take for me to see the results?
Easy question. Normally, it's been taking 8 to 10 weeks. However, with today's current labor shortage, it could take longer, but we stay on top of it on a regular basis.
So let's give the business people an idea of what types of businesses you work with.
Let's see, starting with manufacturers, we'll go into the printing sector, manufacturers of anything, concrete industry, bakeries, building owners, cannabis business, fruit and vegetable growers, supermarkets. John, literally anybody has a business which has a utility bill over $3,000 a month. I mean, it's simple as that. Again, take a look at your own utility bill. If it's over $3,000, then I tell you, we should really have a talk. I got 30 years of testimonials in my hip pocket here, whether they are in the concrete business or printer, whomever. I'm happy to send them to anybody anybody at all.
Well, that's great, Bob. So if somebody wants to find out about this, how can they get in contact with you?
Well, that's simple. But John, you know, I love what I do, and quite frankly, there's nothing better than handing a businessman a check for thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. Now, I know it may sound silly, okay, but I'm available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. At my phone number is 914-649-1300. Of course, I can be reached by email at BANTOV, Bob Antoville, ILLE, Bob Antoville, at NASCaudits.com. Should be on the screen there at the same time.
Oh, and also, how about the website? If somebody wanted to come to your website, where would they go?
My website is www.nationalauditingservice.com. In fact, you can even just schedule an appointment to see me by clicking on the link below.
That's great. That's wonderful. Well, today, folks, we've been honored to have Bob Antiville here with National Auditing Services Consulting. And I'm very happy that you joined us here on our Solutions Alliance podcast. So we look forward to seeing you in the future. And please attend one of our others. And please check on the website for Bob. Thank you.
Thank you, John.